Shout out to everybody here. It's your boy BT back. I'm back like Mace. I feel like Mace since 2004. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. See, the names have all changed since I've been around, but the game ain't the same since I left out. What a song. David Easter, he says Abdullah Mason versus Miguel Purcell is on my wish list. Do you hate Miguel Purcell? Why do you have a personal vendetta against Miguel Purcell? Why are you trying to get Miguel Purcell butchered against the Butcher? Because that's what Steve Kim calls Abdullah Mason, and I like that nickname, Abdullah the Butcher Mason. Why are you trying to get Miguel Purcell? Miguel Purcell already got beat up. Who beat him up last time? Was it Jeremiah Nakatilia? He's already been getting beat up. Why do you want to do that to him? You know, what did he do to you? Nah, man, that's too much. Rosie, you know. Eddie Morales. Now, see, Eddie's talking about the stuff that he knows I want to talk about. He's talking that Filip Hrgovic talk. So he says people are going to learn to stop disrespecting Filip Hrgovic when he blasts Dempsey McKean out in 5 rounds. Now, listen, man. As far as Filip Hrgovic, I'm very excited that he's got a fight signed, sealed, and delivered. August the 12th on the AJ Dillian White card. He'll be taking on Dempsey McKean. You know, the tall southpaw. I believe he's undefeated heavyweight contender. You know, this is an opponent for him where I feel like he's got really nothing to gain other than keeping his mandatory spot. McKean's not a big name, so like if he knocks him out in 5 rounds, nobody's gonna say Hrgovic is this killer, right? But it's a fight where I think Hrgovic needs to really show that, hey, the Zhang fight was an aberration, all right? And he needs to really show levels in this fight. And I think he will. I think he will. I think now that he's got some time in the gym around Shields and you know, McKean's not necessarily he's not the fastest heavyweight in the world. He's a southpaw. He's a southpaw that sometimes gets caught in the wrong distance. Hrgovic's best punch is a straight right hand. I really feel like it's a fight Hrgovic should be winning and winning handily. And then after he beats up on Dempsey McKean, Zhang Zhilei needs to stop getting a pass from the boxing world because Zhang Zhilei, you know, I like Zhang. I respect Zhang. He did his thing against Hrgovic, but he lost. He lost. In my opinion, I know I'm in the minority, but I thought he lost. I thought he gave the fight away in the second half of the fight, and he's getting too much of a pass. He shouldn't be fighting Joe Joyce again. He beat the shit out of Joe Joyce already. He should have been calling for that Filip Hrgovic rematch, and he should have been trying to knock Hrgovic out and avenge that loss to show everybody that he's better. But he's content with people giving him a pat on the back and saying he won, rather than getting an official win on paper. So that's just my opinion. But we'll see how things shake out. I think Hrgovic blasts McKean out of there. Brandon says he fought on Wednesday. Lester Martinez or Lonnie Thompson? Who are you referring to? David Esther, shout out to longtime viewer David Esther. He says, "Man, I wasn't sold on Edwin De Los Santos until the other night because he looked freaking sharp against Adorno. He showed that he's not just a big puncher, but he also showed that he's got good stamina." I thought he looked pretty good. I thought you know, he showed some good boxing ability. I thought Adorno kind of made it easy on him too, though, because Adorno didn't have a lot in terms of his attack. Like, he was very jab dominant, not a lot of feints, not a lot of straight right hand coming from Adorno. But you know, nonetheless, I thought it was a solid performance. He showed that he can box. Saw some things that could be exploited as you do with any fighter, but overall good performance. I would like to see Edwin De Los Santos fight Isaac Cruz, but I don't think that's going to happen because Isaac Cruz is fighting Giovanni Cabrera on the Spence Crawford undercard. Giovanni Cabrera is a smaller fight, is a fighter who fights at 130, who's not even a big puncher at 130, that they're bringing up to 135 so that Isaac Cruz can get a knockout, and then so that the announcers can blow smoke up his ass and call the Mexican Mike Tyson, and then they're going to try to make this Tank rematch happen. So I'm not going to get my wish with that. But in the perfect world, we would get Edwin De Los Santos versus Pitbull Cruz. And if we can't get that fight, then I would like to see Edwin De Los Santos against Frank Martin. If Frank Martin does what he needs to do tomorrow, you know, Frank Martin versus Edwin De Los Santos, I think it's a great fight at 135 in the PBC stable. So that's kind of where I'm at with that, you know. Oh, my main man, 50 grand, Eric Lances Jr. Everyone say salute to one of South Florida's very own, 135 slash 140 pound prospect Eric Lances Jr. He says, "Who beats Adrian Broner?" Is that who you're talking about, Eric? Adrian Broner? You beat Adrian Broner. How about that? I'm Eric Lances Jr. That's my answer. Eric Lances Jr. How you like that? We'll go with that. Let me see who we got here. We got who would you favor in a fight between Robeisy Ramirez and I think you mean Otabek Komotov. That'd be a good fight. I think Robeisie's footwork will give Otabek some problems. If they were to fight, his footwork would give Otabek some problems early on, and then somewhere in the middle rounds, I think Otabek cuts that shit out, hits and makes him have to fight, and I think he probably breaks him down. Be a good fight. There's a lot of good fights at 126. You got Otabek could fight Raymond Ford. You got Otabek versus Lee Wood. Otabek versus Josh Warrington. There's some good fights at 126. Angel Leo is supposed to be coming back to 126 any day now. So 126. I think you got Brandon Figueroa, who's at 126. Maybe Inoue or Folt to come to 126. So 126 has gotten better, and it's going to be getting better real soon. Keen Mitch says, Lions in the camp. I'm here for Anthony Yarde versus Joe Smith Jr. See, now that's the kind of fights that Anthony Yarde needs to be talking about. We don't need Anthony Yarde fighting no more Russians, all right? No more Russians. That's going to be the hashtag for Anthony Yarde. Hashtag no more Russians. He needs to fight Joe Smith Jr. He needs to fight himself, a New York City union construction worker who was champion. That'd be a good fight. It's a more winnable fight. It's a former champion. That's the kind of fight I think Anthony Yarde could take at this point. If he's not fighting someone like Buatsi or Dan Aziz. No more Russians. That's where I'm at. I agree with you, Keen. Yeah, real shit, Eric. Make it happen, man. Eric Lances Jr. versus Adrian Broner. How about that? Make that shit happen. Talk to your manager, Eric. Tell him to make some phone calls. We got